Hello, welcome to Skill Check, the positive gaming podcast from YMCA Exeter. My name is Andy.
And my name is Becky.
How are you today?
I'm a little bit croaky. I think it's sort of sounding alright now, but I lost my voice on Tuesday. It's starting to come back. It's mostly back. It's still a little bit croaky. So if I get a bit croaky, it's because
So this could be a really short edition of the podcast.
Yeah.
Because you do not want to just hear me talk to myself
you can't just
for 20-ish minutes. That would be probably quite upsetting for most people.
I'm going to try and get through. I think we will get through it.
We all know that it's your voice that kind of draws people in.
Yeah, absolutely. It's also my voice that the AI really likes when you do all those little short clips as well.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Let's not get into that.
It's really favourable. Really likes me.
So coming up, we've got the game of the week. I'm not going to spoil what it is at this point because you'll tell me off. We are looking at gaming addiction.
Interesting.
In a slightly roundabout kind of, sort of, not at all kind of way. But first things first, we have gaming news. And now it's time for gaming news.
Gaming news. And our first piece of gaming news this week is...
and that's for Croaky
stand
Voice.
by for this piece of news.
I'll bring up the notes just in case.
Just in case. Microsoft and Activision Blizzard.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Yep, so much news from them. The US Federal Trade Commission has moved to appeal against a decision that would allow Microsoft to complete its £53 billion purchase of the games publisher Activision Blizzard. Earlier this week, the FTC's request to block the takeover was rejected by a district judge in San Francisco. Microsoft said it plans to fight the regulator's appeal. We are disappointed that the FTC is continuing to pursue what has become a demonstrably weak case and will oppose further efforts to delay the ability to move forward, Microsoft President Brad Smith said in a statement. The FTC has alleged that the deal would hurt gamers and reduce competition by giving Microsoft, the maker of Xbox, power to deny rivals to access to Activision games. It is the gift that keeps on giving.
Keeps on going, and Microsoft have released a statement.
He's trying to find it. He's quickly Google.
Well, I was looking for something else. I was looking for what FTC was saying and some of their points, but my phone wasn't playing.
Okay.
So I kind of moved on past that.
They appealed that they got rejected for blocking because they tried to put in a block to stop Microsoft being able to purchase Activision Blizzard shares or something like that. That's been rejected by this judge in San Francisco, and then now the FTC are saying are appealing against that decision.
So, according to Microsoft, the FTC does not identify a single legal error in the court's reasoning.
Yeah.
Nor any reason to think that any other complaints they lodge will have changed the outcome.
I don't know. It's an interesting question though, isn't it? Whether people believe that this will actually harm gaming.
I mean,
and you don't. We know you don't.
I mean, what does and what doesn't? You know?
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see as it goes on. It's very. I mean, this is such a long story. It's going to keep going until the end of the year. We keep telling you that. We'll just keep going until the end of the year.
And it's important because of the amount of money that's been thrown into this, even at this early stage, even to try and make
They haven't even completed the purchase yet, and it's been through many, many court cases.
Yeah, and
if
it does happen, there's going to be lots of games coming Microsoft's way.
Yeah.
There's
the
lots
whole
of
cloud thing, which is the other thing.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff there about the future of technology and how it's going to be used.
Yeah. It's
going to go on and on.
Yeah. Let's move on because otherwise we will be here all day talking about that. Our second piece of gaming news is classic games. A study has been published by the Video Game History Foundation, which who knew that was a thing. It states that 87% of classic video games are no longer available. The in-depth study that was published in the partnership with the Software Preservation Network, also who knew that was a thing, revealed that just 13% of games created and released before 2010 were available commercially. The study showed that the PlayStation 2, the best-selling console in history, has seen just 12% of its games stand the test of time. An estimated 1,000 games disappeared when the 3DS and Wii U digital storefronts closed earlier this year. The survey also showed that outdated copyright laws in the US are preventing libraries from easily preserving classic video games.
I mean, this is gutting.
Yeah.
This is...
Yeah.
It's a bit like when you have TV shows from your youth, which you kind of stumble across when you're old and you're like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I had such great fun watching this. But now you can't actually stumble upon these games because you just can't play them anymore.
It's really sad. Do you know, I was thinking, I was trying to think nostalgically back towards my childhood and think of the games that I played as a kid that don't exist anymore.
So many years ago.
Yeah, so many years ago. But the one I remember is James Pond, which was like a fish in the water.
Cards.
Yeah. And you'd be like, James, and that game doesn't really exist anymore. You can get versions of it, but they're not as good as the original version. But that is,
I want to track that down now.
Yeah, it's such a good game that we used to play all the time when we were kids, and I miss it.
Just yesterday, my wife was playing The Sims 2 Castaway.
Oh, good choice. Good choice.
I think it's the Nintendo DS. I actually mentioned to her this article that was coming up today. Yeah. I was like, I just couldn't remember the numbers involved.
Yeah.
Because I bet you won't be able to get hold of that game.
Yeah.
Even in its kind of slightly older format. Because it does look old compared to even playing The Sims on the PC. Yeah. But it's just such a shame that these kind of, I guess, works of art are disappearing.
And somebody has put in time and energy and effort into these things, and actually things like copyright laws, which are stopping people from accessing these games. Actually, that's really sad, isn't it? That's really sad that somebody's put in loads of effort, and then the law is stopping them from being able to still be published.
Is there something to be said, and this could go on? Is there something to be said for digital products being easier to lose, easier to get rid of, more dispensable? Does that say something about us as a society? Really sorry, we just got deep. That was deep.
But then also, so my sister said to me before about stuff like films and stuff and having those all online, and actually you've got more potential to lose those than you would have had with the DVD or something like that.
Yeah, enjoy watching Harry Potter on Netflix when it lasts.
Yeah, interesting.
But this is positive. And this
is my final story, which is possibly one of my favourite gaming stories ever. So Video Games Choir is possibly one of my favourite stories.
I mean,
a composer in Bristol has started a choir specifically to sing video game music. The choir will be started online for people all over the world to join in and sing songs from games such as Zelda, Minecraft and Halo. Ben England, who started the choir, says that more than 1,000 people have signed up in the first 4 days. Mr. England wanted to bring people who have never sung before or have not done so in a long time together. The music from video games can now be a fully orchestrated score. And the group will meet regularly online, with Martin O'Donnell, the Halo composer, joining the first session. I think this is so cool. Kind of cool. Yeah, and there was a little thing at the bottom, which was like a little, like a 13-year-old boy just saying he's signed up to the choir and he's so excited because he's like a proper gamer. Yeah. And this is like him singing and actually being gaming, and that's really cool.
And I think that's a whole kind of element of gaming that no one talks about.
Yeah.
And that is the music, that is the sound of gaming, which coincidentally is the name of a podcast from BBC Sounds called The Sound of Gaming, and it is all about the music within games, and they kind of have interviews with the people that made it and things like that, and if you're interested in the sound of gaming, check out Sound of Gaming.
And also, you can still sign up to the choir. So if you want to sign up to the choir,
which is online,
and so you don't have to be in Bristol. So you can sign up from anywhere in the world, and you can just join this choir, which is really cool.
We need a link for that.
Yeah, we need to find a link for this.
We need to find a link for that.
feel free to join the choir. If you do join the choir, let us know.
Yes.
And we'd love to hear how you're getting on with it. It'd be really fun. It's really cool. And yes, well, that is the end of gaming news.
So, Becky.
You're going to start this section with So Becky again.
I believe I just have.
Yeah, okay.
I knew it was coming as well. So, preparing this.
Okay.
I did the thing I normally do.
Okay.
Is I looked into what we were meant to be doing.
Yep.
I then decided to go onto Google.
Okay.
And I just went with what I found on Google instead.
Good stuff.
Right.
What did you find on Google?
I found an article on gaming addiction. More precisely, I found one of those kind of survey question things that ask you if you have a gaming addiction. So it asks you a series of questions, very much kind of statement based.
Yeah. And
you have to say if you agree, if you strongly agree, disagree, whatever the word script for meh was, or strongly disagree. It was something like that.
Yep. How did it
go? Before I comment too much about it, and there is a chance I might get a bit ranty at points. After I started the quiz, and after I got a bit upset at some of the questions, I did see that it does include the words that this quiz is designed to screen for the possibility of gaming disorder and it is intended for personal use only. This test is not intended as a diagnostic tool.
Were you using it as a diagnostic tool, Andy?
That might have been the reason why I got a bit upset over it. The thing that upsets me a little bit is so many people are going to miss that text.
Yeah.
So many people are going to do this quiz. I'll hopefully circle back to this, but so many people are going to do this quiz and go, oh, my partner, I have, my son, my daughter has a gaming issue.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
So the thing is, I'm in two minds about it.
Okay.
So the first half is, it has some questions or statements, a bit like, many times I've neglected following through on my responsibilities and obligations in favour of gaming.
Right.
So do you agree, disagree, meh?
Yeah.
Now, I would personally argue, it's into the evening, you've got a stack of washing up to do.
Yeah.
Do you A,
wash up,
or do you B, keep Netflixing?
Yeah.
Or,
gaming.
C, keep doom scrolling?
Yeah.
My point being, who hasn't?
It's true.
But if you're doing this quiz for someone else, or if you're trying to go for a certain answer, it might be tempted to look at gaming in a particularly negative way without looking at other kind of things that people do to kind of distract themselves from, just doing the boring things in life. Not saying you shouldn't wash up, by the way. Now put that disclaimer out there. Now, so that's one question I want to pick up.
Okay.
Another one, over time, I found myself spending more time playing video games and or looking for more complex, stimulating games to get the levels of excitement I used to experience. I mean,
sure.
Let's talk about rock climbing.
Yeah.
You start rock climbing on probably a really basic wall,
it's true,
right?
Yeah.
Do you stay there?
Yeah.
Again, this is gaming being...
Yeah, it's being treated as a hobby.
It's automatically being seen as negative.
Negative, yeah. It's quite negatively framed, isn't it? Yep.
But the other one I did like, I did kind of feel a bit understanding towards, was I experienced urges or cravings to engage in gaming during other activities. I'm sorry, there's been times in my life when I've been standing around going, I could be at home playing that game.
I mean, arguably, though, with any hobby, like, I'd rather be at home with my dog. I'd rather be at home. Like, if you're in a meeting that's like very boring, or
which obviously never happens.
No, absolutely not the ones, yeah. No. Or not intellectually stimulating.
No, which
I quite often will be there sitting. I'd rather be watching tennis or watching Netflix or walk my dog. Or
thank you.
I don't think that's uncommon to hobbies in general.
And this kind of reason why earlier when I said about looking at gaming addiction, I was like looking at it from a roundabout kind of way.
Mm.
On the other hand, what I liked about the quiz was questions such as, if I look at my notes quickly, there are questions about the amount of time you spend, if gaming is detrimental to looking after yourself, and if you've lost a significant relationship or opportunity because of gaming.
Yeah.
Which, fair enough.
Yeah.
Like all hobbies, it's about all things in balance.
Mm.
And I think if you're going to worry about kind of gaming addiction or anything like that, it's probably worthwhile kind of paying more attention to that sort of stuff. Sort of stuff about what are you not doing?
Yeah.
What are you giving up? What have you stopped looking after yourself? Have you all that sort of stuff, rather than the overly obvious things which could apply to anyone.
I mean, I think these quizzes like this are great as long as you don't let them define you.
Are you trying to say I'm not actually a Hufflepuff?
No, it's true. Okay. You're really not.
That's why I want to be Gryffindor anyway.
I don't want to break it to you, but Hufflepuff doesn't really exist. It's not real. I'm sure there'll be lots of other people that are like, yes, it is real. I'm sorry if I've offended anyone. I'm just apologising for Harry Potter. Oh no, Annie's out. Oh no, what have I done? No, I think like it's the same with a lot of these quizzes that we even like personality quizzes or anything like that. I think they're all well intentioned, but I think it is, and actually some of them can be really beneficial. But I think it's taking it in the context that it should be in, rather than like it's not take it as not a serious thing. It shouldn't affect. Like if it gets you to think about maybe how if your gaming habits are affecting your life, that's one thing, but it shouldn't define you. It shouldn't say, oh, you are gaming addicted, or, I think you just need to take it in the context that it's in.
And on that note, do you want to know my result?
What was your result, Andy?
27 out of 56.
Okay.
Now, that means nothing to just on the surface of things, right?
Yeah.
But there was a note there.
Yeah.
If your score is 28 to 56, that means you answered unsure, agree, or strongly agree to most of the questions and should see your health provider, as there's a possibility you may be experiencing signs of video game addiction. An accurate assessment can only be made through clinical evaluation.
Yeah.
So yes. I am 1 point off that. And I'm like, you know what? No.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I don't let them define you. And I think also, like, if you are letting it affect your physical health, there are questions around that. If you are having a healthy hobby, I think that's fine. And like, it is a case of comparing it to any other hobby. In like, if you were a kayaker or a rock climber or something like that, how long would you spend doing those things? And can you walk away from them? Which is a lot of the time with addiction, is what you can't do is you can't walk away from it.
That is it. I mean, I guess if you were playing golf to detriment of your hygiene,
that would also be an addiction.
Yeah.
So I do think it's good to ask yourself the questions and to think about your habits.
To be aware of it.
Yeah. But again, we're a positive gaming podcast. We believe that gaming has real benefits.
So let's not get stressed out over this.
Yeah, exactly. Don't get stressed out about it, Andy. You're not addicted to games.
I just wanted it to be an Hufflepuff.
And now it's time for Andy's Game of the Week. Andy, I know what your game is already this week. And do you want to tell the people what your game is?
Just for one last time.
Oh, here we go.
One last mention. Jedi Survivor.
Here we go.
And the reason why is I actually completed it.
I
actually finished it. Well, I finished the story.
Finished the story on a game that was so patchy at the beginning. He finally got around to finishing it.
So patchy to the extent I ended up having to restart the first chapter or chapter.
That was a grim day.
That did make me sad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was it good?
It was. I mean, I would have talked about this last week, but I wanted to talk about guilt.
Yep.
It was awesome.
Great.
So, story of two halves, right?
Yep.
From a technical point of view, on the PC, oh my, it still has issues.
Okay.
I mean, it had issues to start with. Every now and then, it still gets a bit. Is janky a word?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
In that it kind of slows down and it all gets a bit fuzzy.
Yeah.
And then everything catches up, or you might need to stop for a bit, let the game catch up with itself.
Okay. It doesn't sound great technically, does it?
It wasn't. It wasn't amazing technically. I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks amazing.
It does. I mean, so if you're watching on YouTube, again, we always say this, you can actually see the game footage behind us.
And you're about to point it out. You're pointing out just in time for no. I have already died. This is me making the jump now.
He made the jump. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. So from a technical point of view, it's not amazing. Well,
still questionable.
It's still questionable.
Yep.
It's a heck of a lot better than it was when it was first released.
Well done. Great.
Thank you.
No, that was anything to do with that.
On behalf of all the developers who worked on this, thank you.
All the people that played it and went, it's not working.
It's not working. Fix it. The story-wise, no spoilers.
Okay.
No spoilers.
Was it good? Your face says it. Your face is so happy.
It's difficult to compare it to a movie because if you were to string all the cutscenes together, have I put it down here? No, I haven't. But it's over 3 hours. It's over 3.5 hours long, I think it is.
Okay. Wow, that's quite a lot.
So if you to throw in, the actual action scenes that you've taken part in, and you would see if it was a movie, we're looking at least 4 hours, 4.5 hours.
Wow.
Top. So it's kind of hard to compare with a film.
Okay.
Could be comparable to one of the TV shows, I guess.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
His face, if you're watching on YouTube, says, I love it so much. In that sort of voice.
Basically, one of the reasons why I'm talking about it now is to say, hey, you can talk spoilers to me.
Andy's really desperate to talk about it. He wants some friends to talk to him about it. So if you have seen it, and you really want to comment, or you want to have a whole or you have played it, and you want to have a whole conversation about it, so that Andy can talk spoilers with you.
I think my sum up is it's a emotionally engaging addiction. To the Star Wars saga.
Yeah.
And take from that what you will.
Yeah.
If you can play it, if you've got a device to play it on, if you can get hold of it, it is worth your time.
Okay. Where can they get it?
PC.
Yep.
PlayStation 5, Xbox Series. So the newer ones that aren't Xbox One. And I think that's it for now.
Okay.
Probably will be able to play on some cloud platforms eventually.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, that is all we have time for today on our gaming podcast. You can find us on at YMCX Games on YouTube and on Instagram.
All lots of places.
Instagram, my brain's gone completely dead. And at YMCX on all social media platforms. Please do, if you're watching on YouTube, hello, or say goodbye. Please do comment and subscribe. We like having subscribers. And we will see you next week.
See ya.